Welcome to The Milk, the podcast that pours it all out, the messy, the magical, and the mildly unhinged moments of motherhood and womanhood. Real talk, honest stories, and reminders that none of us really know exactly what we're doing, and that's kind of the best part. I'm Taylor, your host and soon-to-be mom of 3, so let's laugh, learn, and milk this season of life for all that it's worth. Hi, ladies. Sorry, we've been giggling over here while starting. Welcome back to The Milk. Happy Tuesday if you're listening the day this comes out. Thank you for being with us again today. I have another special guest, a good friend of mine, Carly Ryan. We are here to talk all about why intimacy changes after relationships and what we actually need. We're going to be talking about intimacy, pleasure, and identity, the identity shift that comes with after having kids and how that can kind of play into intimacy and your relationship, right?
So beautifully said. I'm so happy to be here. Fellow mama, you look radiant as always.
Thank you. I don't feel radiant right now.
I know.
You know.
You're doing your best. You're doing your best. Well, I'm so excited to talk about all of this because we're learning so much about the maiden and the mother, I feel like, in real time, being new mothers. I have a 9-month-old at home, and it's a work in progress, and there's so much practice, and it's daily. But it's really something that I think is just illuminating so much about the shadow and the self and losing yourself, and there's a death without a funeral, as I like to say, for the maiden and mother.
Love that. Okay, so let's tell listeners who may not know you, just give a little spiel on who you are, what you do, and then kind of what's brought you to this work.
Absolutely. So I am a intimacy coach and relationship coach, and I specialize in somatic self-pleasure and sexual healing. So what that looks like as far as our culture is we are super over-sexualized, but we are not connected to the sensual self. And the sensual self very much is about creation and our connection to our purpose, our soul's purpose. And we don't think about the act of sex being so deeply rooted to our souls, but it really is the foundation of all life. All movement forward is connected into that sensual energy. So we're taught from a young age, especially as women, how to downplay our sexuality or upplay our sexuality, but we're not taught how to connect to our sensuality. Same with men and boys, especially men and boys, I think really get bypassed when it comes to how to connect to your sensual self. So I help individuals and couples reclaim and come back to their innate sensual primordial selves.
I think that's so important because especially as new moms, first-time moms, even second-time moms, I feel like I've felt this each time. It's almost like you feel intimacy just disappear. You're navigating a new body. You're figuring your boobs are no longer just for male pleasure
They're
to
food.
or to look good in a push-up bra. They are now being suckled on by these kids as a form of nourishment. And it's you're trying to navigate this newness, and I think you get lost in feeling your libido's gone, and you're just your body's just your vessel for these children now and not your own, where it's that intimacy doesn't disappear. It just takes on new legs in a different format, I guess, right? I'm interested to hear your perspective on this, especially now going into my third time around. I think we have amnesia, and I'll be right back to the same thing where I'll feel the same way, which is why I'm so excited to have this conversation and just reframe my mindset and everyone else that is listening of intimacy doesn't disappear. It's you just have to navigate it differently, and also give yourself time and grace.
The 6 weeks is...
How about 6 years? Can I have 6 years, please?
6 months, at least. The weeks, the fact that we as women are really kind of trapped into thinking that we need to be back in touch with ourselves enough to be sexual after 6 weeks is not taking into account the whole woman. It's taking into account the woman as a physical vessel. And that's all we're connected to in that moment, but our sense of self is blasted to the universe when we give birth. pretty much are calling back pieces of ourselves through our postpartum period, which can last 2 years. I mean, that is what other cultures, that's the grace period that women are given in other cultures, is 2 years. That they are reclaiming, they're mourning the maiden, they're reclaiming the mother, they're living in the void. Like I was just sharing with you before we started recording, 8 months, I feel like I was actually able to see my son for the first time because I was suddenly out of the fog. And imagine trying to navigate being a sexual being within that. Women are not meant to have a sense of self in those first months. We are other self-centered. We're not self-centered any longer. And the maiden is all about self-centeredness. It's about creating outward, and the other centeredness that mothers go through is very much internal. And we're just trying to figure out who we are in this new place and sphere that we're in.
I love that. So to clarify or define, like going from maiden to mother, that essentially to you just means maiden pre-kids, mother, your transformation after kids, or how would you define that for viewers listening? Because I feel like we'll be using those terms quite a bit this conversation.
Love that. Yes. So maiden and mother are archetypes. They are with us our whole lives. So you and I will always have our maiden archetypes, even though we have children, but you don't need to be a physical mother to be in that mother archetype. Maiden is very much about the self, energy, fire, sexuality, exploration, but there's also this sense of subservient. You're not quite sure who you are in the world. You're looking for answers maybe outside of yourself. And the mother archetype is very much that rooted, grounded oak tree, for lack of a better term. But the oak tree is very much grounded in one place, but it's not as outwardly exciting as the maiden is. So if you're used to being most of your self-worth is coming from those outside validations, the maiden can be a really fun place to be. But then when you do move into the mother archetype, it feels even more like a void.
And what's the goal here? Like, is it balancing the two, where being able to tap into both freely, or is it stepping into one specific and staying there? Like, what is the goal?
I love that question. The goal is to look at both of them as sisters and not enemies. They are constantly giving and taking from each other. The mother archetype will take over usually in the beginning of postpartum, but the maiden is also there to give her that fire, to give her some more purpose, but she is taking a backseat. The maiden is very much in the backseat until really it's usually when you start ovulating again that you are starting to call in that maiden energy once again, to be on a walk with you, to feel seen, to feel excited about being touched again and not feeling touched out. But she definitely takes a backseat throughout most of the postpartum.
It's interesting. It's almost like having one on each shoulder. Not to compare it to like devil and angel, but it's almost like there's been so many moments in just being a mom where sometimes I'm like, I'm listening to this, but then this one pokes in. It's like that voice in my head.
Yep.
And it's almost like a little bit of confusion of like, sometimes I feel like one side, but like I yearn for the other side. And it's like you feel that tug of war.
Yes.
And without even knowing what the maiden and mother were before knowing these archetypes. It's like I've just internally and intuitively felt that. And I'm sure so many women can relate, where it's like sometimes they're in the mother, they're like, oh, I miss the maiden energy. And sometimes they're in the maiden, they're like, wait, I kind of want to go back to feeling grounded and motherly again.
And it's really about finding the balance and integrating both of them into your daily life, and honoring that both of them are going to step in at the right moments. And really, rituals are such a huge part of honoring both. So in postpartum, honoring that your maiden is dying in some ways and doing rituals to honor her, and then allowing the mother archetype to come back into a bigger part of your like identity through rituals, which is great. And we can talk about that later.
And knowing that, I guess like my goal with going into this the third time around is just not resisting that the maiden's going to take a back seat for a bit. More like hibernating. I'm not going to kill her off.
Hibernating is the perfect word.
Hibernating. And I'm going to step into this motherly time and focus on nesting and not trying to rush back to integrating the maiden. And I think that was the hardest part of my first time having a child with Aspen, where it was almost like, where's this other side of me gone? Like, why don't I have this? It was the resistance, which I think was the hardest part of that identity shift. And so many women can relate. I want to talk about this identity shift that happens when you step into motherhood, because a lot of the time we're not prepared, or we don't talk about it enough. I had no idea that my identity was going to change. I thought I was just adding on to my identity rather than it completely transforming on its own without my say. It was whether I liked it or not, I was going to evolve into this new person. And now I'm so grateful for who I've stepped into or just evolved to. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even remember the past version of me before kids. I don't want to remember. And like, yes, there's parts of it that I still am, but I just feel like a completely different person. But it takes a little bit of time to get there. And there's a lot of like guilt and confusion and sadness sometimes. It's like that the mourning period. How would you describe this identity shift? Like, what are your thoughts on it? What would you give someone who, kind of advice on maybe someone who is in the thick of maybe having their first kid and being like, who am I? Like, what happened to who I'm just something to someone. I'm not my own person anymore.
Right. I mean, it really is about surrendering to the void. And that is you're in between who you were and who you're becoming. You're in this liminal space. The advice, at least what was helpful for me, I'm not usually one to go to the scientific side. I'm much more, how does this feel? Where is my soul? But I realized I was so tapped out and disconnected from any part of myself that actually looking at what was happening to me on a biological, structural, cellular perspective actually was incredibly reassuring and helpful for me to know that I wasn't going insane. I mean, I've never felt so, like you said, so disconnected from myself. None of the old rituals were working. Journaling wasn't working. Even going on a walk, just nothing was hitting the right way, essentially because your vessel is completely shattered and there's nothing to put yourself into. You're slowly putting pieces back together.
I'm going to interrupt you really quick just because I can relate to that so much. It's like the scariest feeling.
Oh, it's terrifying.
When you are doing everything that used to self-regulate you or bring you back to yourself and it's not working anymore.
I know.
Like, I remember doing my first hot yoga class postpartum and I felt so weak. I felt so disconnected. And at the end of it, when we were in Shavasana, I literally just bawled my eyes out in a dark black room. And I was like, why did that feel so different? Or I would go on walks or journal or try and clear my head. And I just could not climb out of this place where I'm like, this used to make me feel so whole. It almost makes me feel more broken.
I know.
Because it's not working.
I know.
But it's normal.
It is.
And it's not forever.
No.
You find new ways of bringing that it's like, old keys won't open new doors. Is
Correct.
That the saying?
Yes,
I kept like
it
that.
is now.
Gosh, I pulled that out of my back pocket. I remember telling myself that back in the day.
You want different results, you need different moves, essentially. And that's, I mean, I don't know about you, but journaling still does not do it for me. And that's okay. But yet I'm able to regulate my nervous system in new ways.
Yeah.
It's essentially, it just means that you've upgraded. Like, you have upgraded so much as a mother. Your cells are completely different. Your gray matter in your brain is different. There's something called maternal brain plasticity, which essentially when you give birth, the gray matter in your brain shifts. So it is turning away from connection with your spouse or with yourself, and it's completely overrun with, and from hormones, your prolactin and your dopamine levels completely shift so that you are wanting to completely live, your nervous system's living for your child at that point. So of course, journaling doesn't help your baby, so it's not going to help you in the same way.
Wow. I've never heard that.
Yeah.
That's so fascinating.
So your nervous system is completely enmeshed, and you're reading signs for your baby as much as you're reading signs for yourself. But what's cool is then you get to be a baby again in a way. because you're regulating your system from the perspective of your baby.
I love that. So what would you recommend people doing to, I guess, nourish their maiden versus mother archetypes during the postpartum phase?
I think it's important to not do a verse, just because women are taught to segment themselves throughout all parts of our lives, really, and this is a time that you can actually really touch the mother and touch the maiden, and they're dancing. They're sisters dancing.
So it's okay to still not focus, but it's still okay to incorporate maiden during the postpartum phase. It doesn't have to just hibernate.
No.
Okay.
She's definitely taking a back seat, but she's their rooting mother on. So I think it's just a beautiful thing to think about, that you are collecting pieces of yourself, and the maiden's going to be reflected in some pieces, the mother's going to be reflected in others. And you even have some crone energy in there too, which is like the grandmother. Unfortunately, our culture, we don't have as much grandmother energy around our villages usually.
Yeah.
And we can learn so much from older generations. But with that said, the crone energy just really balances. She's kind of like she's the wrestling coach, if you will, between the mother and the maiden. That she's just like, okay, you stay here, play nice. Yeah, it's cute.
Okay, let's get into desire and intimacy.
Yes, my favorite.
This is where I'm like, I know you're itching to get into it after kids. Like, it's no new news that desire is not the same after having kids, and intimacy changes completely. Sometimes it does take a massive backseat where it's non-existent for a while. Why does this happen after having kids? How do you balance, I guess, giving yourself grace, like not forcing things, but then also still trying to, like, what are the best ways to still try to fuel that when you're ready?
Yeah. Love that. So there is a few different things. The reason this happens is from a biological perspective. Your prolactin is your mothering, your mother bear hormone, and it floods your body, especially if you're breastfeeding. And it doesn't completely, but it really diminishes testosterone and dopamine, which are the two things that you need to have libido. So you're not broken. You're not doing anything wrong. Your body is completely shifting.
Shutting down that side of you for a little bit.
Talk about hibernation.
Oh
like,
my
that
gosh.
is hibernation.
That's going to be like my excuse. Like, sorry, I have a lot of prolactin in my body. I can't have sex right now.
And if you don't want me to stab you in the face,
get your penis 10 feet away from me
literally,
at all times.
At least 20. Come on, let's be real. And so that knowing that is very helpful. And would you say you had a high libido before?
Before kids?
Yeah.
I feel like it's pretty genetic in my family with the women. Like, we are not super high libido gals.
Okay.
It's interesting. Yeah, no. I mean, it's like a running joke between me, my sisters, my mom, and even my grandma. It's like,
interesting.
We're just like, yeah.
I feel like you all have very much like queen empress energy.
Probably.
So I wonder if that's like you're able to connect with your male partners in a different
like
way.
It's almost like we'll do it, but we don't need it. Like, it's like, okay, like, sure, like, we'll want it, we don't need it.
Interesting.
I don't know. It's I mean, it definitely keeps our males, wanting more.
Hey,
because we're not the ones begging.
Hey.
But right now, being pregnant, I am.
Isn't that interesting?
I'm so horny.
Yeah.
I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Like, I will be having sex and feel my child kick inside of me, and I'm like, that's not sexy, but why am I wanting this right now?
I know. It's crazy. Again, hormones are fluctuating, and just you got to get it in.
But safe to say, after kids, my libido was all kinds of effed up, where I was like, I felt broken for so long.
I know. Did you have, so a big tool is self-pleasure. And that's kind of your gateway back to yourself and back to your libido, especially with motherhood. So sexuality and sensuality, I like to say, is like a pilot light. And you always kind of want to have it on. It's much harder to have it completely off. and then be expected to turn it on. And that's what we're expected to do at 6 weeks when you're cleared to have sex, which is so insane to me. So insane.
I still had stitches inside of my vagina at 6 weeks, and my doctor cleared me. I was like, oh, you're good to go. I'm like, do you want to stick your fingers up inside of me and still feel those
Isn't that wild?
stitches? Because I'm not good to go.
No.
And I remember I gave myself like an extra 2 weeks, and I was like, okay, like we can try. It was the most painful thing. Like my body was not having it. No. And I was like, just because you say I'm good to go, like it took such a long time for TMI, my vagina, to heal.
Yeah. Of course, it just got blasted open and a human came out of it. Of course, it's going to take a long time to heal.
And I think there's like some guilty component to that too, which makes you like resent sex too. I feel like, oh, I don't feel ready. Like it's like almost feeling forced to do something, not by your partner, but just like by yourself, or like everyone tells you can have sex now. Right. So why am I not ready? Right. Why don't I feel ready? So then it's almost like this resentment towards intimacy and pleasure. And you're exhausted. Your boobs are leaking. Your baby's crying. You're not sleeping. It's like, I don't feel like being pleasured right now. Or that's how I felt.
I think most women probably feel that way. But think about, I love that you said I should be having sex. I'm being told that I can have sex now. We women, when you get your first menstrual cycle, that's when you are supposedly, you can start having sex. Most women are not ready to have sex at that point in time. The same thing is going to happen at all of these different portals. So this is a portal. Sure, a doctor is saying you can have sex, but you're not ready on an emotional level, a soul level, a physical level, and you have to honor that. I really want them to change that rule. It is insane to me. It really is.
Who made that rule?
Probably a male doctor. Probably a male doctor. Yeah.
I want to hunt him down.
You should.
Like, sir, let's talk about this.
Let's chat.
Yeah.
Let's chat. Let me know when you have a hole blasted open and then have something shoved into it.
Yeah, maybe we'll rip his balls, stitch it up, and then 6 weeks later, be like, knock, knock, knock.
You really do have an Aries inside of you. She's coming out. I appreciate this.
I'm feeling spicy.
Yes, I love it. But that is it's a huge indicator for women to, not an indicator, but it's a huge invitation for women to reclaim themselves first. You have to be in connection with yourself first. And I think what you're saying of being tapped out and your boobs are, 6 weeks, your boobs are leaking. I mean, you have milk spraying everywhere. It's just not, it doesn't feel sexy.
You just dealt with a blowout and then you want me to be like sexy.
For my 20 minutes of me time? Yeah.
Before the baby cries again.
Exactly. There is a component of doing it for your partner. I don't personally subscribe to that. I think that there's so many other ways that you can connect with your partner that actually will serve you and him.
This is also what I wanted to get into our conversation too. It's like you don't just have to have sex. It's like intimacy is also.
It is so much more
different,
than sex.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll get into that too.
So much more.
Mental reminder.
Yes. Okay. Check. But the self-pleasure is a really great way to reintroduce sensuality to your body, even just like you said, you still had stitches inside of you. I mean, self-pleasure can just look like you're massaging your, like in between your legs. You're not even getting yourself to orgasm. You are just reclaiming yourself. And that's the clearest and cleanest way back to wanting and desiring intimacy. The goal of any of this is so that you innately, truly desire intimacy with your partner again. It's not shortcuts. It's not, I'm just going to get it over with. But there are things that you can do to help bring closeness. And
it's not like a chore anymore. You don't want it to be. Yeah.
Never.
Okay, so you're saying that self-pleasure is a way, so it's like I'm not going to do it with you right now. I'm going to reconnect with my own body, which is going to lead me into that with my partner.
Exactly.
And I do feel like when I go a long time without having sex and I'm like, I don't need it. Mm-hmm. When I do have sex, I'm like, oh, I want it more.
Mm-hmm. Exactly right.
It's like practice. You got to keep it going.
Exactly. Desire and intimacy it atrophies just like anything else. Mm-hmm. So that pilot light you want to keep on. You want to keep it on. Self-pleasure is a great way to do that. And even, again, the difference between sexuality and sensuality, being in contact with sensuality in your space. So even taking 15 minutes to just ask yourself questions like, what scent do I want to smell right now? What do I want to touch? What do I want to taste? Doing things like that to reclaim who you are. You're repainting who you are as a person and not just a mother.
So it's like paying attention to your needs and wants and desires outside of like the sex part.
Exactly. The sex is it's really
the dessert.
It's the dessert. It's the dessert, and also it's the way you do everything. So sensuality is the way that you drink your water. It's the way that you make tea in the morning, the way you brush your hair. But as a new mother, you're so tapped out. You're not
paying attention to that.
You're not probably even brushing your hair.
I need to focus on how I drink my water now.
You do.
Essentially.
If you did that for a whole day, I would be so curious to see what would come up from that.
I do feel like you can tell the people that pay attention to their sensuality of like how they do things. And sensuality is chic. You can tell,
that.
like you can just notice. Like I also get that vibe from you. Like you're very in touch.
I love
and
sex.
chic. You love sex.
It.
Okay.
I love it.
Let's talk about like self-pleasure, your tips, your tricks. Do you love toys? Like we don't have to get into like your nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
But like what would you recommend to clients?
So no toys postpartum. It's very much you're back to analog, you're back to primordial. Your body should be the only thing touching your body in the beginning. So your hands, and again, it can be like massage. You can give yourself a nice massage with oil. You can take a lovely bubble bath. Maybe you're hugging yourself. Maybe you're brushing your hair. It does not have to be, and it honestly shouldn't be anything that's artificial. You need to really strip it back to be as natural as possible.
My bubble baths are my jam. Like that is my way of getting back to feeling good about myself.
I know.
Like when I'm stressed, if I need a beat from the kids, whatever it is, it's just bubble bath. And I'm just laying there.
I love that.
Oh, that's my vice.
Good. Amazing. I mean, you can add in a little touch here and there and see if that invites any desire in. So desiring helps more desire come into the picture.
I feel like just the heat of a bubble bath even.
Ooh.
It's just like being like, when your body's like warmer. I don't know. I've also heard that this is so random, but I'm just throwing this out.
Wait.
I've also heard that wearing socks while having sex makes you're like spitting out your water already.
Socks will okay.
Apparently it heightens orgasms. And it helps you reach orgasm quicker.
Interesting.
It's like the warmer feet. I don't know.
Interesting.
Look,
I have not heard that
but
one.
Look it up.
I have not heard that one. But I do know that if you put the soles of your feet together when you're about to have an orgasm, it creates like a more intense one.
No way.
Well, there's so much feeling in your feet. So try it next time.
Wow. Yeah. Did you hear that, ladies? We all have homework to do.
Socks and put your soles together. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Okay, so we've gotten to the self-pleasure.
Yes.
How do you talk to your clients about issues with intimacy after having kids? Like, what do you recommend? What do you normalize? What do you encourage couples to do?
Yeah. Well, again, the main thing is you have to reconnect with yourself. You have to have a sense of self. You have to rebuild yourself up because there's no libido, there's no desire if there's no self. So I give couples, honestly, a good 6 months that they get to reconnect as friends. They get to reconnect as partners and lovers without sex being on the table. Women, especially in that very vulnerable postpartum phase, you don't want to... we have this immense brain plasticity. So any new patterns that we're introducing into our sphere can start to make actual deep grooves and patterns that we can kind of carry forward into the rest of our postpartum experience. So I try to have clients not make it a chore, not make it something that's expected. It's a mountain that you and your partner are climbing together. And you can only climb the mountain as fast as the slowest person. And a postpartum mother isn't going to be rushing to the top of that hill to be intimate. So the practice, I also invite them to do tantric experiences. And
is that like touching each other?
Touching, but without reaching orgasm or like semen retention. So you if a man can create or have an orgasm but without expelling semen, that can work for him too.
Interesting. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
I thought you were going blue balls and just we're
No.
going to blue balls our men over here.
Poor guys.
No.
But there's so much that you can do with breathing. I mean, there's different ways that you can reach ecstatic union, which is essentially what an orgasm is. So broadening what that looks like for you and for your partner.
Yeah. One thing that, so when Scotty and I were in couples therapy, like, so I'm sure all men, they were like, oh yeah, like we could up our sex game a bit. Like we were in the thick of 2 under 2. And one thing that our therapist was talking about was like, stop putting so much pressure on the act of sex, which is like exactly what you're saying, is like asking me like, okay, well, what makes you feel good that has nothing to just like do with sex? And it was essentially for me, I was like, oh, like I love cuddling. And she's like, amazing, cuddle more. Yeah. Like if you love cuddling, that makes you feel good. And there's more likelihood that that's going to lead to you finding the desire to have sex.
Exactly.
Or like, oh, like you like playing footsie under the table at dinner, or like holding hands across the table, like things like that just like make you feel good with connecting with your partner, that like your clothes are on, you could be in like a public place, like focusing on those to get to the act later on. Was something that just popped into my head again. I'm like, oh yeah, like
I love that.
Now, like I love cuddling, even watching TV, like brain rot at the end of the day.
Real Housewives.
Yeah, like we watch trash TV, and then sometimes like backing that butt up, like.
See, that's the thing. Do you feel like your libido rises quicker when you're the one initiating through this postpartum experience?
I think so, right? Because I think when they initiate, and like you're so tired after a long day or something, it's pressure instantly comes over your body. Like, oh, the pressure of, oh, they want it, but I don't want it right now. Or like, oh, like, do I have to? Where it's like, if you're the one that instigates it,
you're coming out of you're not being in service. Once again, you're being sovereign.
Yes. And then also, I think I've talked about this on like another podcast episode from the previous podcast, but for me, it's all about doing it at the time I feel the best. And it's like finding the right times for him to even make his bid to having sex. Like your partner, you know, it's like, don't catch me at the end of the day at 8 p.m. when we're in bed. Like I want to pass the heck out.
And no one touched me.
Yeah. I don't want to be touched. I want to have my pregnancy pillow around me. I sleep with it, being pregnant or not. It's like my barrier. I've had it for like over 4 years.
Oh my God.
Not the same one.
It's like your stuffed animal.
Oh yeah. I'm like, no one touched me. No one, just leave me alone. But like we found that it's midday when the kids are napping, when we have a little time to rest, like I'm still energized because we've only taken on half the day. And like, that's our time. And like, you are gonna have the best success rate if it's during that time.
You know what's crazy about that? The middle of the day, when the sun is highest, is the maiden time of day.
No way.
And the maiden is very much connected with our sexuality and our libido. So it makes perfect sense that that's when your maiden energy is the highest.
Yeah, have sex in the middle of the day. Yeah. It's amazing.
Get your maiden on.
Yeah.
I love it.
So like, that's just where like we've found that like I'm most likely to say yes or be receptive or like be into it on my own. So yeah, that's what's worked for us. But like just finding things outside of sex that feel good with your partner. Yes. Because once you feel those, you're more likely to like, it builds desire, right?
Exactly. And the building is what's most important. You're building that muscle. And it can't just be, if you're working out at the gym, if you haven't done it in months, you're not going to go deadlift, I don't know, 150 pounds. You're going to start small. So having those little things that you can do with your partner is huge, and just for the relationship and just connecting. And we women need a lot more touch points, no pun intended. We need more like data points of how we connect with our partner that aren't just 0 to 100, you know, in the bedroom or the public bathroom or whatever you want to do.
Where's the craziest place you've had sex?
The zoo.
Wait, I was not expecting that. I was like, maybe like a movie theater bathroom or in the very back of a movie theater.
Yeah,
the zoo.
The zoo.
Okay, like whereabouts at the zoo?
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna expose you right now.
This was
like
I was
next to the gorillas.
Next to the gorillas. No, we snuck into the zookeeper lounge.
Oh my god.
And the zookeeper walked in. a sweet little zookeeper walked in, and it was like balls to the wall, legs up. It was poor thing.
This is gonna go viral.
Oh God. This is when I was very young.
Hey, no shame.
The maiden was really flowing.
We love her. We
love
really
her.
do.
She's fun.
We look
She's
back
fun.
at our maiden days. We're like, dang,
I know.
I used to do that. What happened?
The public places, I don't know what it was. It must be the Aries in me, but it's like, it's a challenge. I'm like, okay, great. Looks good. The other thing with that too is like fantasy play. Like that's a huge one that we lose touch with when we're moms.
Yeah.
Because we're so tired. But that's a great way to rev up your libido is like.
Okay, let's talk about this.
Yeah. Okay.
Dive into it. Let's talk about fantasy play. What do you love? What do you recommend?
Are you a porn fan?
Never been.
Yeah.
Literally never been.
Same. I'm not a big fan. But Tumblr has amazing little gifts. So if you just need a little something to get you started and you don't want a whole production of like being invested in porn, because porn really is just to open up the floodgates for you to see, like put yourself in the position of someone else. I think it's very overwhelming and it kind of, you're not actually fully connected with yourself if you're just watching porn.
Like couples that watch porn together or individuals?
Both.
Okay.
Both usually.
Yeah, I'm not the kind of person that, like, I get guys watch porn. I don't think Scotty does. He doesn't have time to watch porn. I'm exposing him on this. He's going to be.
He's busy. He's a busy dad.
He's busy. But like, I thought of in like previous relationship, like I don't think I get like jealous or, I mean, if they're watching porn every single day for hours, I'm like, okay, we have an issue.
Sure.
But like here and there, like I get it. I don't see it as like a massive problem.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Besides that, I've never really been into it, or I don't foresee us ever
being a part of it.
I don't know. But some couples watch porn and they love it, and I'm all for that. So
totally.
I love that idea for others.
There's also, I find that there's some really beautiful historical art that has erotic art. That's kind of fun, especially if you're feeling very disconnected from your libido. Just a little something to get you going. There's an Instagram called History of Art, and they do all kinds of art, but sometimes they do erotic, and it's
interesting.
I'll send it to my husband, and he'll be like,
"Ooh,
cool."
What about like dressing up?
Do you have time and energy?
No. But like you see in the movies, like sometimes they're like a nurse or like, is that something that,
you know, it works for some people. I feel like most men and women want just the real thing.
I'm not even a lingerie girl.
Same.
I like can't take myself seriously. Like I've never bought lingerie or like the thought of being gifted it and like walking out for Scotty. I'm like, I would just laugh.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
It's not for you.
I've always thought about it. I'm like, I mean, I guess maybe I'm 5'2". I don't look like a Victoria's Secret model like they look like in those outfits.
We just got to get you some wings. Maybe you need wings. That's what you need. And like a $10 million necklace. You'll be good. But the dressing up it's not for everybody. It definitely can be fun.
Is that the fantasy?
It is more of the fantasy, and sometimes it actually means that there's a bit more of a disconnect in the relationship because you're wanting someone to be different than they are.
Yeah, of course.
There's a great kink app that you can get, and you can see where your kinks are, and it kind of gives you like what's your prominent kink. And it's really great because it's not very obvious. Like I love like imagine like a caveman, like very primal. Like that's what makes me very excited. So it's having my husband's pheromones and maybe he doesn't put deodorant on. Like it's the more primal connection. I think dressing up is just something that Hollywood has made accessible, but there's actually so many different kinds of desires and kinks. So I will send that to you and you can let me know what you get.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This is probably a really random kink, but have you heard of the toe suckers? I always say the worst thing right when you're taking a sip
Have you heard
of water.
Of the toe suckers?
Well, I don't know. I'm not part of this community. But when I was in high school, there was a guy who was dating my friend who was a toe sucker. And
he was the toe sucker?
He was the toe sucker.
Okay. Interesting.
Apparently, like, as like foreplay, like he wanted to suck her toes. That's what turned him on. And I think they like immediately broke up and this big rumor was going around for this poor guy. I mean, but like apparently that's a kink.
Yeah.
Sucking toes.
I mean, have you
like I don't know where I don't want to suck a man's toes. I don't know where those have been.
Yeah, I think sucking a man's toe would be a different experience. But think about our babies. We have oral fixations from a very young age.
I want to eat my kids' feet.
Of course,
yeah.
Of course.
Not sexually, but.
The little empanadas, they're so cute. But I mean, to have oral stimulation and vaginal or penile stimulation at the same time definitely amps up your desire. Mm-hmm. So that makes sense to me. Oh, okay. Poor guy. Shout out to the toe sucker. Yeah. You guys are great. Keep it up. Keep it up. I get it.
Okay. I want to play a fun little game. Well, it's like a rapid fire.
Okay.
It's called True Confession. So essentially, I give you a prompt and you answer in like 5 to 15 seconds. Very quick format here.
Love it.
Okay. So the first one. The thing I miss most about my maiden energy is
my super high libido. Miss her. She was a
Don't
hoe.
We all?
She was a hoe for show.
She was Loved a hoe for show. You
Loved
hear that?
her. The craziest thing, I know we're doing rapid fire,
That's
but
fine.
The one, if anyone is experiencing this, just know that this is completely normal and it will come back. I was a big fan of swallowing. Like I loved, especially my husband has. It's
immaculate sperm.
Oh, it tastes like honey water. Thank God. Thank goodness.
This is there's a lot in here that I never anticipated, but this is incredible.
I had a whole.
Hopefully, no one's listening with their kids.
I know. Turn us off. Turn us off.
Well, I've heard pineapple helps with that,
and just a clean diet and just lots of water.
Tastes like honey. You said
it's like honey water.
Wow.
Yeah. God bless him. But since having a baby, I can't do it. I literally cannot do it. But apparently, if you do enjoy it, it does come back online, but not usually till your prolactin's it's like, get this out of here. Come on.
Keep me updated.
Okay, I will. I'll let you know. Okay, back to the rapid fire.
Okay, the hardest part about intimacy after kids is
feeling like you are the last priority on your list.
So true. I feel like intimacy also just decreases because our focus on ourselves decreases. We like lose ourselves.
That is exactly right. That's the whole thing in a nutshell. Beautifully said.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, next one. The first ritual you tell your client to try is
to do a sensory walk where you are really focused on all of the senses. You touch flowers, you smell flowers, you feel the sun on your skin. You just are calling all your power and all your energy back to yourself. So reclaiming yourself ritual.
Love that.
Yeah.
Is that kind of the same vibe as like color walks for like anxiety type of thing? Have you heard of that?
Love a color walk. Yes, but this one's much more sensory connected, but exactly.
Cool.
Throw a color in there too.
Love it.
I actually did a color walk on the way here and I got greens.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Do you walk here?
I walked from my car.
Oh, okay.
Very short walk. But I saw a lot of green. Yeah.
I'm going to walk to my car and do a color walk on
great.
the way too.
You let me know what you decide on.
Okay. I didn't realize how important this was until I became a mom.
Positive self-talk.
Very true.
You can't talk badly about yourself when you're a mommy.
One thing every mom should give herself permission to do is...
I know this one's probably on a lot of people's list, but saying, I need a break. And you're allowed to take a break.
Yes. Yeah. More breaks in 2026.
Amen to that. Yeah, lots of breaks.
The most surprising thing about reclaiming your desire is...
that it's fun and that it's normal and natural and it feeds into itself. The more that you reclaim it with ease and joy, that the more that it starts to seep into other aspects of your life too. Like chores are more fun when you both just orgasmed and you have more space and patience for your partner and for yourself.
Talking about chores, I know we're in the middle of a game, but chore play?
Chore play?
Have you ever heard of that?
No, I have not. What is chore play?
It's essentially when your partner does household chores and it like it makes your life easier, so it turns
foreplay.
you on.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Like
yes.
if Scotty were to like handle the dishes or take the trash out, I'm like, get in bed.
100%.
You know, like chore play is my foreplay. When like acts of service.
I love this.
It makes your life easier.
Yes.
They
do it themselves, not being asked. Nothing's a bigger turn on.
Exactly.
Okay, chore play. I love it. This is fun. I love a good rapid fire game.
It's good.
Yeah.
I wish someone had told me this about motherhood and intimacy.
That you do not know who you are and that's completely okay.
I love that.
There's no way around it. You have to go through the void in order to get to yourself on the other side, but there's no way to avoid the void.
Only way out is through.
Amen to that. I remember saying that to myself during birth of like, oh, I actually have to go through this. Like the only way I can get out of this is going through it. It seems obvious, but yeah, in that moment I knew, okay, strap in.
It's like my mantra in anything I do with the kids. If it's like a crazy travel day or getting through a tantrum, it's like, can't avoid it. You got to go through it.
I love that. I feel like you've been doing a lot with your kitties. So you must be throwing that mantra around.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It's
okay. And it's working.
The more you do it, the easier it gets.
Yep.
So.
True. Yep.
The number one myth that moms believe about desire is
that it's going to be different forever. Like you can reclaim it and it can be even better than it was before kids.
And what is the one question that moms should ask themselves about intimacy?
Who am I? That's got to be your question always when it comes to intimacy is who am I and what is my connection with myself? And then that will lead you to know what your connection to intimacy is.
Perfect. Perfectly said.
Yay.
That's it.
Done.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you.
You're the best.
So for anyone listening, where can everyone find you? And then also your coaching services. Of course, I'll list everything and link in our description. But
perfect. So Instagram, I'm at Carly Cakes. And you can also find me on my website, Ritual Return. And I offer couples coaching, and intimacy coaching, relationship coaching, dating coaching, anything to do with the heart and the root chakra.
Love it.
All the things.
I'm going to end with one question because it just popped in my head. What is one thing that you want every mom to hear and know leaving this episode when it comes to intimacy, pleasure, and their identity?
Your kids want you to be the fullest version of yourself, and they are not going to judge you for how long that takes. They are just going to feel it if you are avoiding it. So take it day by day. Try to being a sexual being, being a sensual being, having a good relationship with intimacy is a part of being a fully functioning human. So don't be afraid of that part of you. Don't feel shamed about it. And the more connected you are with yourself and that part of you, the more that you are able to share with your kids how to have a healthy relationship with their bodies and their sensual desires, and just recreating more healthy boundaries around that.
Beautifully said.
Yay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you to everyone listening. Hope you enjoyed and laughed at this episode. Go maybe do some self-pleasure.
Ooh.
Go get your man to do some chore play, whatever it takes. Get in the mood.
Love it.
We'll see you next week.